getting ready for our matchup. So we take a look at the map bands. So see where we will play. As of course, there are 3 bands for each team's in this very first day. Later on,
4 for 4 different maps. It's our lucky day.
Baby.
That's pretty good out of 7. So Oregon, the one that is the most difficult to play in the current format.
Actually, yes.
So,
Who would have thought?
right?
Just because Oregon has gotten, actually, like, realistically, the realistic word to use here is stale. It's gotten fairly stale, and I think the big part is tower really being the third site that a lot of teams will go for. Sometimes you'll see kitchen, but still, there's no real flexibility compared to most other maps. And
Well, you got to admit, so a lot of other maps, when they have vertical play, it pretty much extends over most of the map.
Yes.
This map is very constrained on where the vertical parts can actually happen, and half of them, half of them are just hatches, not even the floors. It's really kind of limited just in terms of the map geometry. Just there's only so many things you could do on this map.
Yeah.
And without some new bomb sites, it's not really going to change outside of maybe new operators shaking it up in the future.
all right, well, we'll get to see what you guys think about this matchup. As a remind you, BC and Bacon are both the coaches for DarkZero.
A lot of brains going to be happening here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of thinking, a lot of yelling, I imagine.
There you go. And 67 to 23. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Well, they haven't been wrong yet, so I'm sorry, Rise Nation, in your debut loss, but the community's spoken.
Yeah, if only it worked that way, right?
Yeah.
Days would be much faster.
We just Twitter poll, call it done.
But that's the thing. A lot of people are like, hey, DarkZero, they were very close to making it to Rio, etc. They're this team to really look out for. Yes, but I don't think just yet. I think they still have a bit to prove just because their offline record is very slim, basically limited to DreamHack Montreal.
We'll see.
It is unfortunate. I wish they could have been able to play in the U.S. Nationals, but of course they have Canadian players, which they need to get residencies and etc. for the U.S.
I mean, you realize they go back to playing LAN in the early days, right?
Yeah, but that's so long ago.
Still some shared players.
Yeah, but
not to mention Jarvis also got LAN experience as part of Rogue.
That's like saying, oh, hey, Zeronic can go back and play at the top level right now just because he played competitive back.
You mean he can't? Why do we keep bringing him?
I love you, Alex, by the way. Nothing against Alex.
We bring him because cigarettes won't smoke themselves.
No, that beard is fairly glorious.
That's true, that's why.
And Glaz, Dokkaebi, the Pulse here being removed as well on Oregon, which is pretty darn strong. Mira at the end, which wouldn't be too surprising. Maestro, Mira, Maestro, okay.
Someone had to go. That started with an M.
Yeah, Maestro, Mira, and Echo are the 3 operators that you kind of would like to ban.
We'll call him Mecco then. Just so it fits the theme there. Come on, I don't want to be wrong on that. Well, let's see how things go in good old Oregon. We will,
hello.
Mint trying to keep it interesting. Trying to make sure Hot and Cold has some footage. So, well, at least we have some idea that there might be a clash being played by Hyper, assuming that wasn't going to be 6th picked off of. So, should be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, of course,
it starts out.
The initial phase has not ended, so
we don't know.
It means operators can just change. There's no.
They weren't even locked in yet.
Yes,
yeah.
So since they're not locked in, you can just change them, do whatever you want. Fairly simple. All right, well, we'll talk about Oregon for just a second. The 2 most common sites are very obviously downstairs in laundry and upstairs in kids' dorms. And otherwise, it's very flexible. It really depends on the team. It's odd that we say that Oregon is very stale in the metagame, and yet I'm saying, oh, it's very flexible in the 3rd site. It's because you don't really have great options, let's be honest. Between tower and kitchen, all right.
Yeah. That's like saying you have a lot of flexible choices on cafe. So, I mean, yeah, you have a choice of somehow rage quitting or not playing bakery.
That's only if you get night cafe.
Yeah. Ooh, night cafe.
And then 3 out of the players just end up voting to play down in the bakery, and you're like, why am I even here?
Yeah. But anyways, my point being the third bomb site, not a great option. And that doesn't mean teams haven't won tower. There's actually been a fair amount of tower won. Some of it due to mistakes from attackers, and some of it due to good plays from defenders, sometimes even decent setups. But there hasn't been one setup that's like, this is the meta for tower. There are certain components that are fairly standard, but not a, this is how you defend tower, this is how you win, so much as there is for most of the time the laundry. There's pretty concrete setups. I mean, there's...
And you have Mira available and Echo available as well.
Yeah, outside of the bans, it's pretty much the same.
I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Echo being played on tower if we do get to see it, which is fairly likely. I mean, I don't know, both tower and kitchen/dining have their own...
I do hope that we see that the new operators somehow change up the kitchen dynamic so it becomes played more. That would be great because kitchen.
Or maybe take Oregon out of rotation.
You know, one or the other. Something's got to give in that sense. But nonetheless, you know, we say that maybe it's stale, maybe there's no more new ways to play it, but we are just starting basically the season outside of the Latin America play day last month. So there's possibilities here. Still could happen. Still some ways they could play it differently. I just... I'm not expecting anything super groundbreaking.
I'd like to correct myself. The picks of the operators will stay the same. It's just the 6th pick.
Yeah, they hadn't gotten the 6th pick. Which means they hadn't gotten the reveal phase yet, I don't believe. Not that that would necessarily change too much. But the 6th pick phase is a little bit shorter.
It is being discussed, actually, because there were auto picks.
Oh, I see.
So it is up to an admin decision at this point.
Yeah, probably best. There was no reveal phase yet. Probably best to... just let them repick, just in the case. But hey, I'm not an admin, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's for the best, really. Don't give me a badge and a gun, I tell you what.
I'll tell you what there, brother.
I mean, it's bad enough I get a gun in this game. So
actually, no.
Mistakes were made.
No.
That's true. If I can't hit anything with it, what damage can I do?
We all remember.
Let's not. It was your team. I blame you.
We still won.
Yeah, that's true.
We tied 1-1 with Team Antero, but my team got an extra round, which means
there we go. All right,
challenge is up. There you go.
Let's do it. We need a rematch.
1v1 me, Parker. Actually, no, don't 1v1 me.
Yeah.
Let's play against one another.
Let's play. Let's just slap each other.
Well, actually, the only time I played against Parker is like in a playtest after Invitational last year. I did play pretty well.
Who won that? Did you get one extra round?
I actually did win because I had a Mira. I played Mira, and I'm a good Mira player.
Broken up.
All right, so we have repicks, so they are available because of that. So very fair here.
Ooh, so that means more interesting. Like I said, they didn't get revealed, so that shouldn't really change too much about what operators they pick, although maybe Clash wasn't even really being picked.
Yeah, again, it's just, rehost. Yeah, okay, we'll just pick whatever.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for all the information here, and for the last player to come in, there you go. Everybody is in from both DZ and Rise Nation. We should be ready to go into our game. Of course, it's Oregon, and we'll see how this things go. Usually, Oregon is the map that big teams go to die on. We'll see who'll survive this one, or it'll be another 7-2, 7-3.
It's day one. It's day one. You never know.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
Let's go into Oregon, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready for our picks. I remind you that we have 4 operators banned: the Glass, the Dokkaebi, the Pulse, and the Maestro.
Well, we'll see. Obviously, the bans aren't going to change, but the picks might have changed up a little bit, and they still can go for the 6th pick here. It is the reveal phase finished, so we'll see what they go with. And it is Shield. One shield goes, a new one comes in, and it is going to be the Elite.
The Elite Blitz. Look at him. What a beautiful man.
I mean, it's Mint, though. Mint
he
has been playing Blitz for... Well, I didn't want to go there. I mean, I don't want him to think I fancy him too much.
Punzenstock. Yeah.
But he definitely plays a lot of Blitz, or has in the past, so it's not a huge surprise to you.
Yeah, Vandal here with the setup. Now, this is something that obviously isn't a big deal, but if you're a Mira player, if you destroy the wall first and then reinforce and set up the Mira window, it saves you a couple extra seconds.
Yeah, it certainly makes it easier to see around the corners, and of course it's something you do need to be able to do. But of course, one thing you're definitely going to expect on a basement attack, especially one where Mira's still allowed, is that Capitao. The hot cold's going to be ringing so you can smoke off that Mirror, or potentially even hit some fire behind it to be able to kind of burn them out.
Now, obviously the interesting part is how will Mint be used? Will it be the dozer that just comes in? Will he come
He
in
tends
from?
to play pretty solo on Blitz.
Yeah, will he be just the one that moves in from the tower on the opposite end?
west.
Or yeah, in this case it's in small tower. Okay, so it is tower. It's just the other one.
But not the map tower. Just to clear up any confusion for anyone who thought this was the map tower.
I still want to see, like, this is the big community vote where they're like, hey, can we have coaches playing against one another on tower? And I'm like, yes, I want to see that.
I already had to play Favela in a show match, so what do you think?
He still won. Doesn't matter. Anyways, Mint here trying to push in. He does take a bit of damage early on. He does have the Capitao to help him. Hyper, though, will get the kill on Hot and Cold, which is definitely not a great start. Losing the Capitao is definitely not great. Capitao is an excellent operator to have on Oregon, no matter the site, really, and you would always like to have one available for you. Nyx will just drone in, but the Vigil is kind of staying away. Mint did not... Oh, there we go. He spots the operator. The Vigil, and no! Ghost from the side will win out the fight here. The CZ and just the Scorpion melting Mint from the side. Nyx trying to move in and face check here against his opponents. As you see the Ella already peeking in, finally taking down the Vigil on the floor. As Hyper will go down. Nyx finally with the cleanup. He does take a bit of damage, but minute 35 and 2 kills for each side. That's...
Honestly, at this point, the defenders have somewhat won this.
Yes, 100%. I mean, not having the Capitao definitely slows you down, and the Ashe being low on health, you also don't have Mint, which means you know, no smokes as well that you can smoke out those mirror windows.
Hey, but you have the utility to open the hatch.
It's something. It's something, but again, because there's only the Valkyrie and that mirror, it's just, if you had smokes, there's nothing to see through them.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. They're at least going to try and use the X-Kairos to try and open the window up a little bit, potentially. No, doesn't look like that worked out. Might have been impact naded off even. We'll see if they can make anything happen here, because time is dwindling down. 45 seconds left, and of course, no time left to even attempt a reset here really on Nyx. So they're going to have to go in guns blazing here. There's, again, a second impact nade to stop those. It's working out quite well. Oh,
smoke being thrown in, and that'll force the planter Pochaman to fall back. There's still 2 toxic babes in the back pocket of England to use whenever he wants to. He still has to watch that hatch just in case there's somebody coming in through it. But no, Jarvis and Nyx are coming in from the opposite end. It seems like this is a complete rotation through the opposite end. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. So he's going to just use it to delay the Ashe for just a bit. They hear the drop, and that's the kill from Vandal. There's 2 more left alive, low on health, but Pochaman is ready. Comes in with a bearing 9. England will get 1, and Beastly with a C4 will connect on Pojoman, and there we go. Rise Nation will take round number 1.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I mean, the Capitao dying early was already a big, like, oops.
Huge.
But then Mint losing his fight, because he could have changed things up quite a bit. He could have been able to open up enough of a man advantage to make that playable without the extra utility. But it just, I mean, losing the fight up there, yeah, Nyx eventually traded it, but it's the fact that Mint was dead. Not necessarily that he didn't get the kills. It just, I don't know, that was a terrible position to be in. They tried to make the best play of it, but lack of time in the end just didn't work out. I like the impact nade place to be able to stop the X-Kairos from being able to do anything by just using the little sink in the middle there pretty much as a way to stop it. Mint's going to try again, but Beastly is bringing out his own adaptation, although I suppose either operator would work to potentially slow Mint down. But we'll see. Maybe some of these Capcan traps will do some work in slowing Mint down even further than a Gumine would, because a Gumine, yeah, will do a little bit of damage, but it's more so to literally slow him down, whereas Capcan's traps might be enough to knock him down to the ground. So we'll see. They are going to have at least some mute jammers to help that. They are still going to be, well, they're switched up to the top floor bomb site now. So they're going to be able to play a bit more on site up here. Can't imagine they're going to have too many people on Rome, but they definitely might have perhaps Hyper on Rome, maybe with Vandal.
10 seconds.
I mean, this is the thing with Capcan is, you know, there's EDDs, which are pretty good. They at least will force your opponents to slow them. You can slow them down, but you have the PMM, you have the 9x19, which is pretty easy to control and does a decent chunk of damage still. But you also have C4.
Yeah. No, they definitely, when they changed him up to a 2-speed operator, changed out his traps, like, he definitely became a much better operator and stronger one, but it's definitely one that definitely counts on the element of surprise.
Yeah, he's very much a situational pick, and in my opinion, it's okay to have operators that are more situated.
In my opinion, the 6th pick was the biggest buff he could have gotten.
Actually, that is very
Same
true.
with Frost.
I mean, it was down to the reveal phase being added as well. But
This is true, that did kind of counterbalance it. But I mean, making them think you had
Yes.
something different, I think, is an essential component of that. Because they, might make their picks based off of what they see from you and so on and so forth.
there you go. At least the EDD has been spotted. The Jaeger Vandal here is still playing inside of the armory, so the Blitz try to come in. I'm going to try and destroy the EDD that is set here on the doorway from the master bedroom. Go setting up a mute jammer downstairs just to play inside of the bathroom. And spraying right to the side, Mint solo on health, hot and cold as well on half HP now. Vandal can jump out whenever he wants here, but he has no information on the players below, so running against that, and there you go. He'll get the kill on the Blitz, but Pojo Man is ready to... No, the Blitz is still alive. That is not great. Should be able to pick Mint right back up here on half health.
To be fair, a Blitz with half health is nowhere near as useful as a Blitz with full health.
Very true, just because, sometimes because of the hitbox, you get shot in the hand, and, you end up getting a bit of chip damage here and there.
Even impact nades can be much more of a threat
Yep.
now. We'll see, though. He does see the Capcan trap, which is, again, something that would really hurt a half-health Blitz.
Kill him.
Yeah.
And you see the entryway from the closet here. Pojo Man will have 2 already used on top of one another, which allows you to just crouch on in and go for the plant, and as well an extra 1 to have an angle all the way down into its dorms. Now the Ash is watching for any rotations back from the small tower, but it might just be time to rush on in. Mint here will go for the plant, as he does have his back facing his opponents, which means it's a bit more difficult to find him, but England will get the shot from the opposite, and he's still playing in the bunks. And Han Cold will find him here on the Capital. Hyper with the refrag. Ghost with 1 more, but it's now all up to Hyper with no Nitro Cell available. He still gets the kill. Han Cold is down on the floor, but it's Nyx with the diffuser in hand. He'll try to go and plant on the opposite side. And the kid storms. Information being relayed into Hyper as try to play against his opponent here. Nyx on the Ash, turning around. He spots the edge of the SMG, but spraying right in. Nyx will find it. And that's the kill. Hyper will go down. Nyx saving the round here for DarkZero. He spotted the side of the SMG. There you go. And then looked back again, sprayed into the Valkyrie, and took her out.
Still not really concerned about these DarkZero attacks. They seem kind of flying by the edge of their seat to an extent with that Blitz in play. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you do have some ability to push them quickly, but it doesn't seem to be doing a ton of good for Mint. Even when he had the situation where he had a good idea, oh, let me plant with my back with the shield. It's a situation where had he had higher health, something I mentioned earlier, maybe he would have been able to survive and get the plant down, but because he was low health, and you can't do anything to boost him outside of maybe Finka above that 50%, he becomes kind of more dead weight, more of a problem and a liability than a useful operator at that point.
Defenders,
so
protect your bomb.
Mint's going to try it again, this time without even faking it. Like, they're really banking on this, and it's only worked 50% of the time, and I wouldn't even say, I wouldn't count that last round as a full 50%. So we'll see how things play out this round. They're again bringing the same operators. Defenders again bringing their operators as well with Captain.
I'm still interested in the Blitz, but I don't know if it really is the operator to bring in this situation. But
he's certainly not getting any kills, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, the plant, he wanted to go to the plant, but, wasn't really expecting England to peek, that fast and go for the kill. But still, Hyper is setting up here on the Valkyrie. Still has 1 more Black Eye left. Nitro Cell, of course, the captain wasn't really able to use the utility correctly in the previous round. Vandal, not really taking out the Blitz. Maybe that would have won the round for Rise Nation.
I think it would have been more important for him to win that fight on the window, of course, but it was good team effort. You saw the way he tried to push when he knew that there was someone there. He pushed at the same time as the Blitz. So just good timing. You can't fight 2 angles at once. Certainly some people try and pull the full 180 to try.
Our camera's been taken down. Of course, the reinforced wall from the showers, which means having that long angle to control the back white stairs not really available for the team unless you want to use one of your X-Kairos. Doesn't really make much sense, so Pojo Man will stock up on all 3 Kairos to use on the closet here in the master bedroom. Nyx will go in and set up for his camera. You should have a line of sight on anybody wanting to move in through and push in into this small tower. More drones are being deployed in the master bedroom, but there's Mute Jammer here to slow things down. Jarvis on the Thatcher, and that's going to be priority number 1 in this situation.
Yeah, definitely clearing up a lot for those drones if he can get those Thatchers in the right place to take out the Mute Jammers, because you see a lot of effort being put into making sure that they set up to secure any kind of flank from coming out against them with those drones, because if they lose anyone on the attack, that person immediately jumps on cams and watches flanks for the remaining teammates to actually make the push.
And this is the big difference between this round and the one before it. Rise Nation are playing with roamers downstairs and really completely foregoing players in the armory. So
it's very retake heavy, which is, again, where those drones are going to come in. But we'll see if this Capcan's also factor into slowing things down a little bit, but it didn't seem to do much last round.
Yeah, that is for sure. And, second pick. Have to go in for the plant, but Mint will just walk on in. And he's going to flash the Capcan and get the headshot. And there's nobody in here. The white stairs, there's only one player in there, and Nyx has already come in here on the Ash. The plant should get put right next to Mint here.
Attackers activating.
There you go, the rotation. All players stacking up in front of the Blitz, who's going to flash them all. They'll fall back. Hot and Cold will get one. England will run on in, but Pochoman should have an angle on him as soon as he comes in. There you go. An extra flash just to make sure it's done. Venom will get one taken down, Mint, but that's all he's going to get out of this one. So reloading with the 416, 4 players to go through. Needs to ace to win this whole round, but there's still an extra few angles for him to deal with. A bit too much, really, no matter the level or skill of the player. And there you go. Main window held by Nyx. Gets the kill. Vandal's dead. And the hopes for this round will falter. And I really think the Capcan is really not doing anything to the team. At this point, just bring Elysian. Maybe it'll be better.
Yeah, that's what he's picking off of. Just, I mean, you know what? Just line them up down the hallway the way Mint's going to come.
Seriously.
I mean, at this point, obviously they're harder to spot, a goo mine than a Capcan trap, but we'll see. Now they can go back down to the laundry, so of course they will. Dorms seeming to not be their strong suit. The Blitz a bit more effective that round as well, is because, well, there was less people to defend against him, so he pretty much took advantage of. He may have only gotten 1 kill, but it was the fact that he could rush in and control the room very quickly. Because Kid's bedroom can be difficult to attack because of the specific angle when you're coming from the armory side. It's tricky to get in that doorway, and certainly you wouldn't have been able to hit Capcan from any kind of angle coming from that approach. It's the fact that Mint was able to run in there safely to do so. That really definitely benefited his team that round. So that was definitely a round where I feel like it was just by Nyx, top of the scoreboard, also being the last one to get a kill. A lot of times also the one to get that cleanup. Previous time in dorms when Mint had died upstairs, even though that was, I believe, on the laundry attack. Still, he's doing a great job for his team, and definitely nice to see him as a player kind of evolving over time from someone that was, you know, I was thinking, well, they're bringing a relative into the game? Like, how's that going to go? But it's certainly paid off.
Nyx has been one of the breakout players, one of the top rookies in Pro Siege.
We need his rookie card.
Oh yeah, I guess I checked out the CGG 2018 awards, and first of all, I'd like to congratulate Parker at Carabank for winning Best Caster, because he very much does deserve it, and this is coming from for what some people will think is competition, but there's no competition when we're a team like this.
No, I'll give it to him.
But no, yeah.
Despite it being Canadian.
But Aces was seen as the breakout rookie for the year. Nyx definitely all the way up there. That's for sure. Doing quite a bit of work on the squad. Now just continuing in with the drone, making sure that he has info and a beat on his opponents down in the meeting hall. There's nothing really so far as the Blitz is just moving in from the back. Now, this is one of the situations where as a Blitz, you can't really do too much because of the longer range engagements. Getting up close and personal where you can actually flash and win things out gets very difficult, especially with an Ela. Those Geshmot mines are really going to make things difficult for him.
Now, his job at this point is more as a distraction, so someone else can go for the flank rather than trying to aggressively push himself.
Now, the question is, will Pochoman use one of his Hibanas or his Kairos to open up the side? And there you go. He will, but not from the main hallway. He'll be using it to watch through from the opposite end here, from the kitchen. Nyx will get one on Ghost and at least take down the Ela. The cost of half his health, but totally worth it in this situation. Taking down the heavy 1v1 up close fight operator. You see even the Valkyrie cameras are being set up in very compromising positions just because you want to see what's going on, and not having the Maestro really makes things complicated for you. And I really have to question, why is there no Echo being put on play?
Yeah, it's certainly an option here, but definitely the case where they're absolutely not exercising it. Maybe when we see the side switch, we'll see that used. Hot and Cold finally able to get some use out of his smokes here on this laundry attack this time, as he has not died early. This is overall a much better round than the first one.
Attack crossbow used here, but only one of the smokes and no plan just yet. This is DarkZero trying to bait out utility, and indeed it works out perfectly. A C4 and a gas canister expended. Should be able to use the second one here, and they're going to use one to burn players out, at least push them back from the main hallway to go for the plant. Jarvis will find one on Hyper, and there you go. There's the smoke. That's the call out for the plant. The second smoke grenade will come out here from the Blitz of Mint with one more fireball. Big shot in the back, but no, Pojo Man is spotted and taken out. Diffuser picked up by Mint here, who has to go for the diffuser plant, and unfortunately, the Habana just got taken down at the edge. Jarvis will get one. It's a 4v2 now. Is there any C4s available? Nope, there is nothing here for the defensive side of Rise Nation. Will have to retake here with a Mira and a Valkyrie. Valkyrie at range, body shots, very difficult to really do consistent work with her, but there you go. Vandal will get one on Nyx, finds the headshot with the Vector, and Mint just standing on the diffuser, holding off for it. Hot and Cold holding from the top, and Beastly will come in. He'll find the kill. Try to go for the 1v1 fight as Jarvis is still coming in. Hot and Cold will thread the needle. Beastly's going to go down, but Vandal will find one more. It's a 1v1 in Jarvis and Vandal. Little time left as Jarvis will win it out here for DarkZero and we'll leave it at least a 3K at the end of the round. It's not a 4K.
That was definitely, I mean, I just felt like Jarvis that round was like, everyone else was working on the plant. He was just like slowly picking off members of Rise Nation.
I really think it was a 4K.
Probably.
There's only one kill that was set up by the Capitao, and that's about it.
Great plays by Vandal, though, in trying to clutch that out. Like, he really put in a valiant effort, and
hitting that shot at the Vector is fair.
Yeah, but it was just a great call by Jarvis to be like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go hide in the garage.
You have the time to your advantage.
Absolutely.
Use it.
Worked out. So that was really what made it so Vandal was just in a tough spot. But we'll see. We are slowly creeping towards the halfway point with a clear advantage here coming out from DarkZero after a rough first round. Mint has played a lot of Blitz before, but I've never seen him just really harp on it this consistently. It's like he's wanting to explore how much he can get away with.
Yeah, and honestly, he's been getting away with quite a bit.
I mean, it was a little rocky the first few rounds, but the last couple, it's been a lot more critical than it was previously. So it seems like he's kind of figured out, okay, I stretch myself thin in a few of these different areas, but if I play it smarter and a little more conservatively, it's working out pretty well.
But that's the thing. In that case, why not just run the Monty?
Right.
If you're going to play like that passive on a shield operator.
10 seconds left.
There's always these sorts of questions that pop up, but
I mean,
obviously
he's generally a better Blitz than a Monty, so it's just maybe just personal.
obviously the two operators play in a different way, but the Blitz being passive is just not something you would theoretically think about, but obviously it works out.
Well, so there's a difference though. You can be passive aggressive in the sense if you can impose a threat on someone without having execute. So you can come around. The situation I was talking about with flanks earlier. You can threaten someone, start charging at them, and all that purpose. You're not trying to close the distance. You're just trying to scare them enough to focus on you, so they don't turn. Whereas a Monty, you could turn away from for a few seconds somewhat safely. A Blitz, you cannot do that.
It's like having just nukes at the ready.
Yeah.
It's like
mutually assured destruction kind of thing. Yeah.
There you go. It's a deterrent.
Absolutely.
No one will fight you.
It's mint assured destruction now.
It's minty fresh. That's
absolutely. Well, it is not as fresh. Round 5 in, but
the Fresh Prince of Oregon.
He whistled for a cab.
And then it came near.
Yeah. So we'll see if it works out again. This round is well, there will only be so many attack rounds, but hey, he gets one extra round to do it in the new format. We'll see. As things have been going progressively better, it seems like, each round for DarkZero. Nyx had a little bit of a rough round last time, but still, overall, he's doing very good work. I think averaging at least a kill a round, if not more than that. But, I mean, that's his operator's job, really, so that's exactly... I mean, we say kills are everything, but that's his job, so... Doing quite well on that. I mean, I've given him a bad time before about playing operators that are meant to be played more passively and struggling with that because he tends to be an aggressive person. So having him an aggressive operator, I think, is a smarter choice.
The attacker's bomb
I don't know
diffuser
if
has
the
been
mirror
dropped.
was actually
Attackers have
popped down
recovered their
there.
diffuser.
It was, and it was popped out of defense, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
I got to imagine it was. There's not a whole lot of other ways
No
that could have
Twitch
happened.
drones.
So, you see the camera right there?
Yeah, like this is the thing. Why is there no echo? It would have been so much easier. And there you go. Mint now is on overdrive. He flashes into the Valkyrie and waits for the recharge. There you go. They can't really do much against him just because of the C4. And actually, the C4 opens him up for this. Diffuser's been planted, and now he pushes England away. He dies, but he already got the kill that was needed. Ghost is in the side. Does have the Scorpion Evo in hand, so can try to land shots against his opponents. The Geschmoldt has been set upstairs. He still has an extra one in hand. Wow, they're leaving quite a bit of equipment in the back pocket. Hyper coming from the back, but you should have already heard him coming back through here. Pojo Man will find one. There's one on the floor. There you go. Nyx is ready for him. And they're waiting for the second one. They spot him as well, and that's the second kill for the squad. Vandal will get one on Poj as he tries to go for the diffuser. No, gets one at hot and cold, but it's not enough. Jarvis, yet again, will find the last kill. Take him out of his misery. There you go. DarkZero in control. 4-1 so far. Damn.
Well, so far, 3 out of the 4 matches started off with a rough start for the winning team, and then they managed to come back. The only one that was the exception, I would say, is Rogue, who started off strong in their first round, but it seems like there's this kind of this first round warm-up for a lot of these teams, and that's something that I would say goes back to even the olden days where a lot of teams that were the stronger team would lose the first round or two, feel things out, and then adapt quickly, and really that's what makes them the stronger team at the end of the day, is that adaptation. It seems to be working out quite well. We're not seeing a lot of great adaptation coming out of Rise Nation. I mean, they're trying some stuff, but as you said, you know, where's the Echo, for example? Why did they not have strategies where they could have adapted Echo? And that's what it makes me feel like. It's not that they haven't thought of it. It's just a case of like, well, we have these strats already prepared, and they don't involve an Echo, or maybe they may say we don't have a great Echo player because the person, I mean, I guess I was gonna say this on the other team, but Nyx was like the steadfast Echo before for DarkZero,
yes,
which kind of struggled with it a little bit. But I don't know that I can think of a really strong Echo on the other team, and
on Rise,
that seems to be a problem for them. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's not that they haven't ever played it, but I just can't think of anyone that's a standout Echo player. And maybe that's really something that's going to hurt them in the long run.
Okay. Well, this
5 seconds to insertion.
this really complicates things here for Rise, just because of the way the sites
Attackers have
work.
recovered their diffuser. Attackers must locate and defuse.
Every single time they kind of force themselves to play downstairs. It's just Laundry is just not working well, and having the blitz, especially in the way that Mint completely changed the way that he played that blitz.
Yeah.
He was playing super passive. We talked about it quite a bit, and then suddenly round 5 he just rushes in, and he doesn't even go for the kills initially. He just pushes people back as they're timing things correctly for a plant.
Yeah, that threat is what he's finding much more useful than his gun some of the time.
All right, well, next we'll spot the 2 reinforced walls in here. Can't really do too much with them or against them, really. I guess they're just deterrents, but, you know, they're there. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like,
yeah, what more can you say about reinforcements? But they're just there. They're
just there in the attic. Okay.
We'll ask them how they're feeling later after the round.
Oh, they're still there.
Oh, I like that drone.
Hey, there you go.
That was a nice little like sideways strafe through the hole there. Nicely done. So at least Rise playing fairly passively, but again, that does give Mint the opportunity to kind of close things up a little bit, get a little closer without having to engage anyone too aggressively. Gives Nyx a chance to entry and get into positions where he can more effectively help his team. Not sure Vandal's going to get away with this.
Nah, man.
It's not going to happen.
You can chuck C4s fairly well with an arc, but when it comes to trying to stick it up directly above you,
yeah,
it doesn't have the same amount of range.
Well, C4s have some heft to them now too.
Exactly.
As part of the changes to the velocity of throwables.
I've never held C4 in my hand, so I don't really.
That honestly surprises me. Someone who's held many other guns in your hand.
Attackers have located
Yeah, but C4 is not a gun.
Well, Sometimes it's treated like one in this game. And sometimes, occasionally, if the spectator's a little off, you know, it looks like one.
All right, well, will the smoke peek against it? Nothing so far. Hot and Cold just opening up his punch holes to look on in as this push is completely turned into a tower play. The Blitz is still very powerful in this. Now, I'll remind you, shields work very differently. When you chuck C4s in front of a shield, what will happen is it'll block the damage for the player, but not anybody behind him.
Yeah. And not always all that great for a Blitz player as well, compared to a Monster player.
Yes, indeed. And in both situations, you know, you still not are protecting the people behind you from the blast. It's odd, but that's how it works. Mint will come in from the side, as Ghost will get one. Jarvis with another Ghost, actually getting the two out of here. Oh no, the Valkyrie almost able to get it done, but no, Mint is coming in from the side, and that's one melee and the kill. All up to Ghost here, who will have to fall back. And as he's reloading, you know, Mint just coming in and firing right into him. He'll find the headshot. Ghost will go down, and man, beautiful play here from Mint, just turning it up to 11 on the Blitz. And you see when he got meleeed, the shield got pushed away, but this is why you saw Mint completely turning the other way, so he can block all the incoming damage. It would still work, because you're hitting the shield.
And that's the thing, is you see also really good Clash players knowing that as well.
Do that, yeah.
I've seen that play, I believe it was the plays we were talking about on the stairs, on the server stairs on Bank with the shield, were a similar situation where he turned exactly in time to try and block the shots. For exactly, and I believe he just got killed from behind is what ended up happening. But Tower is an interesting start here for your defense, so we'll see how that goes. I like that Beastly last round also must have heard me because he tried to use his C4 as a gun and it didn't work against Mint. It's coming around that corner with the C4 in hand. So Mint going to be playing an operator here. He also plays a lot of on defense.
Wow.
I'm almost surprised to not see him just play Clash. That, you know, try and play a similar role on his defense.
I mean, Tower play for the first round on your defense is definitely something that's gonna maybe overwhelm Rise Nation.
But this is coming from a team that, back with your flip side especially, were really well known for playing the offsite.
Exactly.
So it certainly doesn't surprise me too much, as a lot of the core of the team is the same from that time. We'll see, though. We have yet to see any attacks from Rise Nation, so hopefully they can rise up at least a little bit to not make this the first 7-1 of the night.
Yeah.
Try and continue the 7-2-7-3 pattern at the very least.
Jarvis just setting up here with the Valkyrie is, of course, if you're holding Tower, the entire floors really are important. Even the bottom floor.
Yeah.
Which means if you can shut down anybody moving in from basement, you end up really getting a free kill and a lot of work done with your team on the defense.
If you think about it, Tower is essentially a bomb site that's nothing but a stairwell.
100%. I mean, that's the best description. It is a tower.
Yeah. So it's certainly the case. You want to control every floor that's connected to that stair.
Yeah, and I say that just because a lot of teams just kind of neglect the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Easy kill there for Hyper, who
neglect.
Unfortunately, there's nothing really to deal with him.
Well, Jarvis, at least, hopefully he left all 3 cameras behind.
Sticking you.
I mean deployed. Let me be clear on that. I don't mean on his corpse.
All right, well, Gizmot is going to get used, and there you go, Valkyrie cam will get taken down. So he was watching the Valkyrie camera, but you know, not really checking the opposite end. Hyper will get Gizmoted through the stairwell, but nobody really will peek him just yet, as Pojaman is taking just a bit of damage on the wall. Or soft wall right next to him.
I got to imagine they weren't expecting to have to attack this bomb site, but you definitely plan attacks for it.
Well, Nick's at least now watching the staircase. They know there's players outside that are waiting in to converge, but Hyper's still below, and this is why you need control of all floors, just because one player in, it really can cause problems for you, for the defense. And their peak, Hyper gets the other one. He's still on 55 HP, a lot to work with still. As both the Valkyrie and the Jaeger are down, you also lost a C4, and it's now all up to Hot and Cold, who's not running a C4 in this situation. Of course, on the Bandit, Mint already expended his utility, and Pojaman, I'm not sure if he still has any smokes left. Still has one and an impact grenade, but not sure how much that will help him. The push will come in from Ghost, as utility's already been used in by the Capitao. Hyper will get one more on to mint. The shotgun from Pojaman, long range, but will still find the kill on England. 2 versus 4, 38 seconds on the clock, potentially winnable here for DarkZero.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Oh, if this ends up being the only round they lose on
Oh!
Diffuser has
Hot
been
and Cold will thread it, and that's one, but Hyper yet again. The
Attackers have
4K
recovered their
from
diffuser.
Hyper in the round. Can he make it an ace? Pojaman moving in here with the shotgun. Diffuser plant is happening. The shotgun will connect on Hyper, but he's still alive somehow. And Vandal will land the last one. Pojaman going down. Rise Nation really rising to the occasion here of the attack on tower. Not something you really would expect as the first round, but it's definitely well played by the squad. There you go. 5-2. We're 2 rounds away still. A victory from DarkZero, so it's not over just yet.
Well, expected or not, it's definitely still going to be a difficult bomb site to handle. And Hyper's push in and taking down of Jarvis early, I think made a big difference in that. Because like you said, the inability to control that bottom floor, well, that was obviously going to be Jarvis's job. He was setting up cameras to be able to help with that.
Yeah.
Getting caught midway through, checking the setup of your cameras is definitely not the situation you want or expect. Just didn't expect them to be in there that fast, that soon.
Attackers need to locate
So
and defuse
definitely
the
down to timing. And it's unfortunate because you got to imagine if that was going to be the first bomb site they tried, they had some strategy for it. They'd obviously practiced a fair amount. And the timing just wasn't down well enough, or the timing didn't include any kind of, oh, well, we should accommodate for people pushing it quickly. So I can imagine if they go back to tower again, probably won't see the same scenario.
Yep. And this is why they don't go back to it again. They're like, all right, they figured it out. Let's just go to a standard site. I mean, obviously here, if DarkZero win the basement, then they get to play upstairs.
Yeah, here's the thing to think is there's no way they have to play tower. Because they'd have to win 2 rounds, the other 2 bomb sites, before they had to play tower. At that point, they've already won the game. They've won the match. So they literally do not have to play tower now, no matter what.
Attackers objective is to locate a bomb.
Because there's no OT.
Yeah, but aren't there rules where
You'd have to win the other 2 bomb
you don't
sites
have
in
to
a row.
win them, you just have to play 2 other sites?
So that's what I'm saying, though, is they would have to win the 2 good bomb sites in a row
Yeah, to
in order
just
to
win
be
out.
forced to play tower.
Yeah, very true.
So they literally do not have to. It's over. They don't have to play it. They didn't have to that time
Alt
either,
F4, we're done.
They didn't have to play it that time either, just to clarify. But either way, it's a good position to be in if you're DarkZero. Got a new org looking to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, very true. It is a big investment here to have the squad in, so we'll get to see if this whole team house thing is working out just fine. And so far, so good. Hyper spotting things out downstairs. As Rise Nation are setting up, of course, they won't be running, the blitz that we saw. There you go. Mute Jammer will get taken down, and can't mute juggle, so Hot and Cold will have to fall back, and the wall will get opened up. Just wasting time, wasting utility. 2 X-Gyros left, so you'll see both of them being used on here. 1 on the wall and 1 on the hatch. Well, at least 1 on the hatch right now.
Yeah, we'll see. They might want to scope things out a little bit more before dedicating people inside the
double
school.
Mira. Double Mira, fully reinforced closet. What?
Old style. Well, like kicks.
What is that
cyclically.
style?
You open up the left side, and then you are defended from the hatch on the right side, and you can still try and be able to do things to stop them from planting. It's certainly something that has worked very well in the past, and
There you go.
it's mostly, I almost feel like it's dropped out just because you want to be able to use it on the backside more often, but if you save it for later, you can get away with it.
Vandal didn't use his EMP, which meant the Mute Jammer held the X-Gyros for long enough the Bandit could come in and destroy them, and now there's nothing really to do with that.
Yeah. Doesn't have any X-Gyros left, so it's definitely going to have to be fought a little bit a different way. Thankfully, they still have Capitao to help with this, and he's already burned out Pojaman, half of his health gone because of that.
But it's mistimed right now. England will have to go in, but the barbed wire is slowing just enough. Pojaman's still alive in the back, but England will take so much damage even moving through the barbed wire to get back to the staircase. So very good trade here from DarkZero. Pojo still alive, the mirror window still healthy, and Rise Nation will have to adapt to this because there's still players in the back that could ramp it up and get behind them ASAP.
Yeah.
Hot and Cold holding on as well.
Oh, looks like they're going to try and go to the back of the stage, but if Hot and Cold starts to get some kills here, they won't have any time.
Exactly, there's not much left on here, and he'll find the headshot through the stage wall. Beastly will go down, and he'll find another one. Jarvis with one more. The IQ somehow will win it out. Hyper, low on health, he'll get dropped by Jarvis, and last in is Vandal. Find one on Jarvis, 3v1 though, and shooting at the body. Nix will finish him off, and round number 8 will go the way of DarkZero.
Well, at least it didn't go down to a 7-1, but it's looking pretty close to that whole 7-2, 7-3 situation. As again, they don't have to go tower. And if that's the only bomb site they're going to lose, then, well, that's not great for Rise Nation. As of course they're going to, well, okay, I was going to say go dorms, but...
What do you know?
I forgot which team this was. You know, they changed names. It's not my fault. My goodness, you guys don't have to go tower. But again, this is the kind of team that does this.
Surprise.
They are certainly, they surprised the previous time, and I think this is likely to be a surprise again. Hyper last time did make the plays with the IQ to make it. I mean, it wasn't necessarily dependent on his schedule or anything, but he just picked off that operator, which makes me think they probably didn't anticipate this being tower again. They're expecting to fight dorms, so we'll see if the gamble from DarkZero wins. But at the end of the day, like the best Rise Nation can do is come back 4 rounds in a row for a tie. I don't think DarkZero are confident that they can, so it's just kind of like, we'll just try and surprise them again. If it works, we win. If it doesn't, we win the next round. So I suppose the thought process is sound from a team that has such a comfortable lead.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense. I mean, but there's still the philosophy of when you're ahead, get even more ahead, right?
Yeah, I mean that's when a lot of teams choke, is they get too serious. They try too hard. They're like, oh, I've got to close this out. Except for G2.
Yeah.
They just are like, I'm done. They just end it. There doesn't seem to be that pressure to finish it in a way that they can't close out. It just seems like they just end the match. Yeah.
All right, well, Hyper will come in to try and contest anybody in the tower. Maybe there's some run out being planned, some utility that's being set up. The big problem before with the tower defense was the fact that the Valkyrie was instantly taken down by the IQ just moving in from below. And in this case, there won't be an IQ, but still the Ashe can definitely fill the role. You still have to clear tier 3 in this situation. Mix is up here, he's got ADS as well to protect him, and a shield. Mint's taking a decent chunk of damage as he peeks in with the Ella, but definitely not a good spot to be in. He does have support from below, and he sits behind Nyx. Will thread it. Ghost will go down. Perfect play here as Rise Nation lose the Capitao. A huge operator here. There's something in the...
I think maybe he's reloading mid-death.
That's actually very...
Or switching his bolts. Just left them in the air for his souvenir of his former life. Well, one smoke canister already being used just to try and delay this. They're really focused on defending T3, which is absolutely what you should be doing.
Exactly.
Because if you lose that, well, all the other utility you have doesn't matter so much.
They're going to try to burn people away, or at least burn the ADSs away, but the shield finally taken down. There you go. You want to use the breaching round to take down the shield, and this means that T3 is now open for business, but there's a smoke downstairs watching anybody peeking in. The drone will be lost here by Rise Nation, but to deal with the smoke, they have to take control of this T2 window, and that's why England is here. It gives you perfect line of sight. You can set things up with the remote gas canisters, but you still have one more in the back pocket, and you can just wait it out if you're the attacking side. And
the problem is switching off the IQ means they can't make sure that they've gotten all the Valkyrie cams outside the tower, so they can never be secure on runouts.
And that I don't know how that was not a kill, but there you go. The Habana of England will escape with his life. At least just a bit. 2 players lining up on the opposite end here as now the attack has shifted. Beastly still watching, and England as well on the same angle to come in from the garage as maybe somebody is planning for that attack. Poach will take down. What was that? Vandal just running in, and the second one as well runs right into him. Hancold will get one as Beastly one for him and Hyper as well. Hancold setting up again. He finds the angle, but he gets the kill. Now turns to 1v1. Jarvis versus Hyper. C4 still available here for the Valkyrie as the diffuser will get planted right on the stairs. Information will get ferried up to Jarvis. As they'll walk up the stairs, diffuser will get set down the instant. Comes in, the Valkyrie will go down. Hyper to win out the round for Rise Nation with a headshot on Jarvis. That was way too close for comfort. There you go, the instant flick to find the headshot.
Well, so tower, maybe not the best idea.
It got pretty close, I have to say.
Oh, absolutely. But it's just they were definitely ready to make those trades that time, and it obviously worked out in the end, but just ever so closely. And again, Hyper winning the fight against Jarvis. This time, though, Jarvis had a chance to fight back. So we'll see how they do on dorms, though. We know that they can win laundry, not so much on tower. If they can win dorms, of course, that's it. That's the end. If they lose it, they can go back to laundry right after because they did tower in between. So this makes a nice safety net for DarkZero to be in. We'll see, though, how this goes. Bringing a somewhat familiar lineup, but no, they are going to trade out the windows for the stim pistol.
And that's okay, right?
And that's okay.
Defenders,
Yeah, I
protect
would
your
I would
bombs
think
from
by
being
now
defused
most
by
players
attackers.
would know how to play this site without that.
Yes. Of course, Vera's not super great on this, but still, she does add a bit to the defense in the top floor, so it's okay, of course.
I like how you're letting them know it's okay, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Stop crying. It's okay. Well, we'll see how things go. I do wonder if we'll see Mint go for any spawn peaks or anything like that with the ACOG, as that is something that Doc is well known for these days. Certainly a viable thing to do.
Now, one interesting thing is that DarkZero actually are running a public stream at the same time, actually showing
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
showing the game from their own POV.
I would love to watch that later. Ooh, that sneaky little camera outside.
Basically, just a bullpen camera. That's usually pretty interesting. No one's ever done that before.
Yeah, definitely.
No one's ever done that in the history of the Siege.
What pioneers? Oh, Nick's definitely sneaking around downstairs here, hoping someone's going to try and come in through that window. Don't think they're going to be that aggressive here. Let's see. Looks like they're going for the old bedroom push. They have the Habana for out of England to be able to go as soon as they take that master bedroom control and start to set things up for that. And that's a similar push to what we saw come out as well from DarkZero when they weren't just completely depending on Blitz to make the push.
All right, basically droning in. There you go. That's just a drone for later on to watch for any rotations, as he'll probably be playing in here. Where is he going to take this drone? On a ride.
He's just bringing us along with him. There's already a drone in there.
Oh, man.
Interesting, yeah, barricading up that door. No one will expect that. He does have some idea, though, if there's going to be someone playing in kitchen, most likely. That might have been something Nix was doing to kind of help himself be protected on that corner so that he can focus more on the dining room side and the window at the bottom of the white stairs, but he is still
Attackers
kind
have
of
located
hidden
a
in the
bomb.
bathroom to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Well, Han Cold is just watching through as he rotates into the kitchen. Jarvis is with him as well to help. It's just bottom floor control, as in the meantime, England is just going to take his sweet time and have an entryway into the set. The generator room has been opened up, but still not clear. You still have to deal with the players that are in the back, and I'm not sure what England's trying to do there. Is Mint just lying on the floor, finds the headshot, and takes down the Habana. That already had done her job, but still, maybe should not have done that without any information on the players that are in the back.
Well, they're going to have to play this a little more aggressively to win. They did at least get the utility out of the Habana before England died, but 45 seconds left to actually make this push happen. If they haven't gotten any kills, well, as I say that, there goes Mint, but is that enough?
Basically, we're just finding a kill here on Mint through the window, and I'm not sure if he still has a drone in the tower to watch his opponents. Now Vandal has come in and watch rotations from the white stair. What is that? Hyper just runs right on in. He'll get two, one with a knife. On Cold with one on Ghost, but
Attackers have
quickly
recovered the
dispatched
diffuser.
by the Ash. 2 versus 3.
Defender is approaching a kill.
See the Thatcher here trying to play against the
15
Valkyrie.
seconds to go.
Nobody to
Attackers
deal
are
with the
activating
diffuser
the
plant
diffuser.
from below, and no, the whole setup is just going to fall apart. Hyper with one more. He just runs through the smoke and gets it done to 3K. For the Ash, C4 thrown up, but there's no one ringing on the other side. Walking through the barbed wire, Jarvis taking even more damage, and Hyper peeking again, and there we go. That is a ton of work being done by the Ash, the spearhead, the tip of the Saltier from Rise Nation, as they'll put around on the board, which breaks the cycle for tonight.
Unfortunately, they made the same mistake that Rise Nation did previously, which is putting too many people downstairs. They just depended on being able to rotate back up, and well, when it push came to shove and they needed to be back upstairs, they couldn't be. So, you know, just a case of misappropriation of people when you needed to rotate them back up a little bit earlier, but I don't think they expected Hyper to just come in guns blazing like that, much the same way Rise Nation didn't expect Mint to come in guns blazing on the blitz. So it's just a case of you see that opportunity and you take it, and you gotta expect that to happen. That if someone drones you out, they see that you're not upstairs, they're gonna come in and they're gonna take it. They're not gonna feel like, oh, we've got to clear the entire bottom floor first. It's like, no, there's only 2 ways you can rotate up here. All we have to do is make sure you don't do that. I mean, yeah, we've got to worry about a C4, but that's only in the point that we have to plant. And we don't have to plant in a spot you're going to predict it. Hyper, though, doing a lot of work. He's got double what Vandal's got there.
16 kills.
Definitely more than anyone else on DarkZero, though, to be fair, DarkZero overall total probably has a bit more. Still, Hyper definitely living up to his name here. Someone that I feel like he maybe struggled a little bit at first when he joined this team, but he has definitely come a long way since then. Definitely giving Nyx a run for his money on these attack rounds.
That's for sure. All right, we'll see how DarkZero adapt to this one as they are back on the bottom floor. This should be a victory here for the squad as
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
close things out downstairs fairly easily. Not but 2 rounds ago, so.
I gotta imagine if they end up in a tie situation
Oh man.
after this, like they're gonna be kicking themselves for playing tower twice.
100%.
We'll see though, definitely far from over, and of course this is the bomb site that they've won. Well, the only bomb site really that they've won on defense is they lost tower twice and dorms once now, so not been great. That's not a lot of data to work with, but it would be good to kill Hyper early on, I could say that much, based off the data so far.
All right.
Extra cautious, though.
Just watching on the outside, they want to clear the side of the tower, or at least have some sort of angle into the meeting hall, as of course it is a very important part of the attack. Just so, even if you just, not even just having control of it, just knowing that there's someone in there, knowing where to anticipate them and how to deal with them, it's already something pretty good for the squad. Now, hatch was already open in the meeting hall, so rotation has already happened. You'll see the players all sitting down on the bottom floor. In the meantime, Rise Nation are taking their time before they go in for this attack and just feeling things out. Like, okay, where do we go? Well, Nyx is going to use that time to take down Hyper, so now your entry, your spearhead that was doing so much for you in the previous round is just dead.
Yeah, it seems appropriate that it would be Nyx to get the kill.
Yep.
And that's really going to slow things down for them here, because Hyper's been the one who's been able to get that control of the areas they need to get control of to actually make a push happen. And you don't want to depend on Ghost for it if you really need those cap down crossbolts, but he's going to be the one pushing down, so they're really going to just straight up go for a tower side push if they're going to commit to this, because I mean, you opened the hatch on the other side, but you don't want to send Caps out over here to try and face people if you want to play lobby. And this is going to kind of give away that they're not really too concerned about lobby.
Now, they're still unsure about meeting hall, and I'm not really sure if they opened the whole, if they cleared the whole thing. No, there you go. England has control of it, so they do know it's all open. They open up the hatches. They're going to switch this complete attack from a tower side, or from a lobby to a tower side, but Hot and Cold winning the fight here would definitely make things a ton more complicated for Rise Nation, as Ghost is now low on health, and suddenly everything just changes, and now they go to the other side, and the Habana... It is fairly complicated here. Jarvis as well is set up behind the mirror window, and you see the rush in from the attacking side. Nyx will already land one with the Bandit. 5v3 advantage for DarkZero, taking a bit of damage here. Hot and Cold. The C4 will not connect. This Nyx will go down a Beastly. Ooh, just taking a decent chunk of damage himself. Hot and Cold on half on the kill on Vandal. He's on around half health as Beastly will watch the diffuser plant from above in the school. England full health still on the Habana, who's holding the stairs. Still has line of sight if need be. He'll go in for the fight. Pojo Man is ready for him, and Beastly's on the floor. That is all she wrote. DarkZero will take this 7-4. As today, the final matchup will be a lot closer than what we'd have expected at the start of it. It'll be 7-2, 7-3, 7-2, and 7-4. The score lines for tonight's matches. What a fairly exciting first day of Pro League for North America in Season 9. It's there's still Rice Nation. I have to say they are still at the good level that they were previously. You know, a lot of people will be saying, "Oh, hey, they had an org change. Maybe that's going to be something that'll affect them negatively." And it seems like ditching Morxus was probably the best thing they've ever done.
You just had to bring that up. Yeah, I feel like there was almost as many coach changes as there was roster changes.
I mean, adding BC, of course, the DarkZero.
There was some we didn't even mention, like Thomas getting picked up by Accelerate
Yeah,
as well. So I
AC.
mean, there was a lot of
Very
coach
true.
changes.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Coaches are good to have. It's just,
I think that's being recognized now.
yes, it's taken a while, but teams have seen the effect, and yeah, it's pretty darn good. I mean, I'm excited to see more of those things. I mean, coaching position is very difficult. I saw even with Le Stream, they kind of dropped Sparkso as their analyst, and they're looking for a new analyst to fill that role. Capel is kind of just doing whatever he wants with the team. And
So if you knew everything that was going to happen the entire time you were watching tonight, hit them up.
yeah, you might get a job out of it. It's a great thing, right? Well, we are waiting for potentially an interview here. We're still waiting on information. Yeah, there you go. We're just waiting on it. DarkZero are, of course, all together in the same team house, as we saw with Rogue.
So maybe we'll just get the bullpen with the camera. We'll hear from everyone on the team plus 2 coaches.
Actually, there probably is quite a few ways to set that up. Now, make it very interesting.
Maybe not while they're also streaming on that same camera, though. But that would be interesting for a future
put
one.
another camera next
I mean, we've already broken ground with the 2-person interview tonight. Let's go to the full team interview next.
Well, 3 technically, because Slash was in the back, right?
That's true. That's true. He didn't have much
He
to say, but that Continuum jersey was lit. Yeah, that was very nice.
That brings back memories.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean,
That final match, I have to say, was much closer than we would have expected. And
Tower is why.
our interview is ready with Nick, so let's ask him and we'll see what he thinks about this whole thing. All right. Good evening, Nix. How are you guys?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Congratulations. It was a pretty exciting game to watch, and I saw that you guys were also streaming the bullpen cam, which is pretty exciting. I know that DarkZero is kind of trying to reinvent things and add more in terms of the content that wasn't really present in the past in PL, so it's pretty interesting. Kudos for that. But let's talk about the matchup. It went very much in your favor early on. Then it got complicated when you switched around to the defense. Tower didn't really pan out the way you guys thought it would be. Well, look at the first round that you played on defense. What do you think were the real faults for you guys in that sort of defense?
So the first time we played Tower, the biggest problem was just Hyper getting in backside without us having like any info on that. Jar just ended up getting picked early, which wasn't his fault. He was just cycling cams. But Tower, we know Tower is a really good site for us, and it works. It was working in scrims, and we still have confidence that it will work in matches as well. We felt like we were playing man advantages too aggressively, especially in that second round where we had 2 picks. We just kind of gave too many, like we just kind of challenged angles we shouldn't have challenged. I should have stayed alive in T3, and it is stuff that we, like mistakes that we typically aren't prone to making. But you know, we'll go back in the VOD and make sure that we iron those out, so we'll be ready for the next match.
All right. Well, Mint played the blitz quite considerably, literally every single round on the attacking side. It was interesting to see how the first 4 rounds he played a very passive blitz, as if we were just mentioning, as if you had some sort of nuclear deterrent. It's like, hey, I'm here. You want to push me? All right, we'll see how this goes. And then the last 2-3 rounds, he just completely reversed the play style where he was getting up in his opponent's faces. How do things function around the team and communications to allow him to play in such a flexible way on this operator?
So the way it works is Mint is just, obviously Mint's our main IGL. So with Mint on that blitz, he could see a lot of the stuff that are going on. He could see the setups that Rise are, making. He could see like he can make calls off the opening picks that we get and stuff like that. So depending on the Rise's setup and depending on like our opening picks and how where the round is at that point, he's going to play the blitz differently depending on each round. So every single time, our IGL made a call. We just went with it. He wanted to play passive, which means like we wanted to get plant down and play for post plant, or we knew that we had to get aggressive and get picks because we were running out of time and we just didn't have the utility to get plant down. So basically, it's just all off of Mint's calls and whether or not he wants to get aggressive, or whether or not we just want to play for plants.
Pretty darn interesting. Now, one final thing to close things out: double closet Mira on the basement. Break it down.
Basically, we did the double closet mirror because we knew they were running the Capitao, and with that being, when you're running double closet, then you could just play pretty safely in that corner. Also, we knew that they weren't going to go backside at all until later in the round when we had all of those doors barricaded. So, since we knew that they were going to do a primarily west side take, we put the double mirror, and then we just played our mute backside and like towards blue hall and stuff like that, so that when they dropped back, we had control, and we just played for trays, and everything went our way that round for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty darn impressive plays there, even if things got a bit too complicated on the second side. But hey, a few kinks to iron out, and I'm sure those will be fixed throughout the next week. But again, congratulations on your victory against Rise Nation in this debut, not just debut for NA, but also debut of the organization. Finally, we get to see you guys in play, and I have to say, the room looks pretty darn cool.
Thank you.
Hey, Bacon still has to bench quite a bit for us to see some sort of improvement, but in due time. But anything you'd like to say to the fans who are watching the matchup here next?
I just want to say, thank you to all of our fans that supported us, since F3, since all the way back in season 1. We're really grateful for everything that we have. Jarvis putting up the heart. So we also want to give a big thanks to DarkZero for representing us. We couldn't be happier with our organization, and we're just really excited to get the rest of Pro League going.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Nix. Congratulations again, and we hope to see more excellent plays from your squad as the season progresses.
Thank you very much.
Good night.